Hey there, and welcome to a very special edition of Phlearn. We're going to be doing a little interview style. So if you've ever wanted to see where this came from, stay tuned. Mom, you were born and raised in Massachusetts.
Yes.
Moved to California.
Yep.
Met Dad.
Right.
He convinced you to move to Hawaii.
Right.
You said, I'll move if you marry me.
Correct.
Nice
Yeah, the
job
ultimatum.
There. Yeah.
Yep.
And in Hawaii, you had 3 beautiful children.
Yes, I did.
You've been a dental hygienist for
45 years.
45 years. You enjoy sewing and quilting.
Yes.
And you make incredible pies.
Thank you. So when you decided to start Phlearn,
Yeah.
what was your initial goal?
My initial goal with Phlearn. Well, okay, so I was working at that engineering job.
Right.
It was like the company was good. I just it wasn't a right fit for me.
You have never been employee material. Yeah. You have to run the show.
I have to be the boss, I guess.
Yes. Aaron did go to design school, but he majored in industrial design, which is product design. And one of his huge projects was that he worked with one of his great buddies, Joe, and helped to build a car out of wood.
Honestly, for a long time, I thought I was going to be a designer. I thought I was
Right.
going to be either an automotive designer or I wanted to design furniture or products. After graduating, I took a little trip to South America.
South America.
And that's kind of where I got into photography. It was just kind of fell into it. I brought a point and shoot camera with me.
Yeah. But when he came back and we saw his photos, we were just blown away. I mean, a lot of his photos we blew up and framed because he captured not just images, but he captured the flavor of the countries. Everybody else says, oh, that's a beautiful mountain. Let me take a picture of the mountain.
I had plenty of those too, by the way.
Yeah. But the really outstanding ones were the ones that Aaron took of people.
Well, thank you.
As you can tell, that's...
I didn't know you thought that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, photographing people is so interesting because it's difficult. It's so hard to do.
Is it really?
It's so hard. For me anyway. I mean, everyone's got their own challenges.
I didn't know that.
When I'm photographing a person, I want to be able to look at that photograph and understand that person. I want to be able to see their feel their personality a little bit.
And you do.
And I also really love telling stories with my images as well.
Yes,
so
you do.
That's where a lot of my conceptual photography came from.
And it started off with Flickr 365,
Yep.
where Aaron took self-portraits every day for a year.
What was your experience during me doing that?
I loved it. I loved
You
it.
did? Really?
Yes. Yeah.
I was living at home, by the way, during this time. Thank
Yes.
you for putting me up. I appreciate that.
Yeah. It was just fascinating to me that you could think of something different every day. It was like your brain was just turned on. One of my favorite ones is he sat on the sofa and took pictures of himself and photoshopped in bears.
It was a gorilla.
A gorilla.
Yeah. And I did a panda, too.
You did a panda too.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff you thought of was just phenomenal.
It was not. I was not thinking I was going to be a photographer.
Right.
And so that was actually great because there was no consequences. If something didn't work.
Yeah.
If I had a cool idea and it worked, great. But if it didn't work, no big deal because there was...
Tomorrow.
Yes. 100%. I really learned a lot of Photoshop because I had these ideas where I was I want to make it look like I'm hanging out on a couch with a gorilla.
Yeah.
And then how do you do that? And
Yeah.
how do you make it look realistic? Photoshop played a big role into that.
Aaron is the guy who will pick an idea or a topic and he'll just run with it and go absolutely crazy overboard. And then he figures it out and he drops it like a hot tomato. And he never does it again.
The dark sides of my personality.
Well, no, it was fascinating. When you were mounting butterflies, and he had this huge butterfly collection, and then it's okay, I'm done. And he never did it again. And so our concern was, is he ever going to stick with anything? And photography and Photoshop is the only thing that has kept your interest throughout the years.
It's true. Yeah, I've thought about that too, because, and I still have other things that I pull in, in my life. Like I'm making kombucha and I'm really into like fermented foods, and I'm like,
and you have a wife.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that has to do with kombucha, but yes. I have, yes, a lot of other things in my life, but you're right. Photography and Photoshop they've been a big part of my life for a long time. Yes. And I think it's because photography is an art form that plays really well with so many other types of art and so many other interests. Like, if I'm really interested in food all of a sudden, I can take pictures of food.
When I started my food blog, Come Eat.
Yeah, it's called Come Eat. It's a fantastic food blog if you want to make some of her award-winning recipes.
So I would make the food, and then Aaron would photograph it. And let me tell you, photographing the food was way harder than making it. And it was really interesting.
It was a lot of fun. We haven't worked on that project in a few years.
Many years.
So if you want to see some of my
early work,
check it out. We'll put it in the link down below. As my hobbies and tastes and styles, shifted throughout the years, photography has always found a place.
But you see things differently from how I do.
Well, we all see things differently.
I guess so.
I was trained, so I went to school for design, and as a part of that, like, aesthetics are a big part of that, right? Like, so how things look, how things feel, and then, studying. Like, the first 5 years I was into photography, I would just, every photograph I saw, I would just, like, try to figure out how it was lit. And, like, if I liked a photograph, I would just, like, why?
And what does the photograph say?
Yeah, what does it say? Like, for me, I mean, I would say this changes all the time, but for me, like, right now, a great photograph tells a story.
Yeah.
Like, if you can tell a story with a single photograph, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then if you can add on top of that beautiful lighting and beautiful composition and beautiful colors, yes, please. But number one is, like, what's the story? If I see an image and I'm like, I got it.
Yeah.
No biggie. And I have many of those. Like, I've taken many of those photographs. But if I see an image and I'm like, God, what is this story? Like, I want to be there. Like, I want to interview these people. Like, I got a whole narrative, and it kind of sticks with me and it stays in my head.
Sounds good. Well, it's so wonderful to see you as an adult.
Oh.
And almost
getting there.
And to see you so happy in your marriage and your business, and you're just a really cool guy.
Well, thanks, Mom. I get it. I got it. I've got fantastic parents who supported me all along the way. I thank you very much.
You're welcome, darling.
Yeah.
We love you.
I love you too. All right.
Well, Phlearn you later.
I guess so. I'm going to step out of here because apparently you know how to run this now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hot bye, everyone. We'll Phlearn you later.
Hey, baby. Hi.
Okay, good job. Okay. You earned your keep.
That was so great.